mean, Riley Cooper, I mean, like, that dude deserves a statue. I mean, like,
number one on your speed dial.
Hey, I'll tell you what, like, I mean, I didn't know until a couple days after the fact. I was like, wait a minute, is he the MVP or like we got the all-tournament team?
No doubt about it.
And then Ty Floyd, when I struck out 17, and like stole it from him. But I was like, when has a pitcher like been a part of like 5 of the 6 wins in Omaha? I mean, what a performance!
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time.
Pleasure.
Yes, sir.
Sharp a little late, boys, at the spring game, obviously, as you can see. A couple of booze cruises here to do. Let's spit. Cruise. Grand salami to the boys. Finally back on track. And I got another one coming. Don't you think I don't? And that's how we roll in Tiger Stadium.
Just watching the spring games that were on television, one thing that jumped out about your squad is your quarterback room is very talented compared to a lot of the league and a lot of the country. I wonder, is it easier to recruit that position when you have talent or when you don't have talent? Coach Kelly, we're official.
Finally,
I'm
get a
telling
chance to meet you. Thought I had to get a private audience with the Pope. There's Jordy.
Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show, come have a good time.
Tearing up, answering the question, I thought, my God, if she gets offered this job, she's going to take it.
It's just a crazy, fun time at LSU right now. Isn't this what everybody loves?
From the boot to the east to the west coast, no matter where we at, we live. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta Show. Yeah.
Let's go! Let's go!
All right.
Big day. Big day.
It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time.
Coach, it's great to meet you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you for the time. Welcome into a Monday edition of the Jordy Culotta Show, live here from our Click Here Digital Studios here on Christmas week. Merry early Christmas to everybody out there. Happy holiday season.
Happy Hanukkah.
As we are,
Chinooka.
Chinooka.
Yeah.
I have no idea what Chinooka means. But
Me either. We might be stepping right in it.
Does that mean like thank you? Like,
let's see.
A quick Google says.
Yeah.
Smokey Robinson is one of the best. What is it when they
Hanukkah also spelled Chinooka.
No, what is it when they
Chinooka.
pay you to do the messages?
Oh, Cameo. It's two gods.
They sent Smokey Robinson a cameo to wish somebody happy Hanukkah.
Chinooka.
And he says, Happy Chinooka. He says, I have no idea what Chinooka means, but
Here you go.
You gotta pull it up, Stewie. I'm telling you, it is a all-timer.
Hanukkah is also spelled Chinooka.
But Smokey Robinson on Cameo is the all-time
Happy Hanukkah.
Oh yeah, I got it.
It is amazing.
Just do Smokey Robinson Hanukkah cameo.
We're going to talk to Kim Mulkey here at 7:45. We're going to talk to John Brady at 8 a.m. We'll talk to Coach Mulkey. Yesterday, her squad rolls past Northwestern. She's shown the door early.
Yeah, gotta go, Coach.
She was tossed up 40. She was not liking a call against Anissa Williams. That was a offensive foul. Mulkey, I just texted her last night. I thought the most impressive part was that she didn't make contact with the ref. She was coming in so hot. Like, I mean,
needed a little Angel Reese in the middle.
Like she she still got the athleticism.
Yeah.
The start-stop. I mean, I thought for sure she was going to go
barreling
into the referee. I mean, she was like sprinting at the referee.
She learned a lot from Draymond. Don't touch him.
But the back and forth between the referee, I think the referee said, "You got to go back," and she said, "You're going to have to throw me out." And he was like, "Perfect."
All right.
There you go. There's another one.
She needs hard knocks more than
See
anybody.
ya.
Oh my goodness.
Could you imagine Kim Mulkey mic'd up?
Oh.
You're gonna have to toss me out this game.
A lot of bleeps.
We're going to talk to her at 7:45 about yesterday's performance for her team. The break now here with exams on the road versus Maryland. Now head back to Angel Reese's spot. We'll talk to her about Reese. And last night, as Reese was really the one that broke up last night, Mulkey from the referee. So we'll talk to her about that. John Brady will be by here, talk about LSU basketball. How about the weekend for Jordan Wright? I know LSU men fall to Texas on Saturday in a pretty good contest, especially in the second half. But Jordan Wright for LSU, Baton Rouge native, formerly of Vanderbilt, had 31 in the second half. He had 33 for the game and scored 31 in the second half and was just nuclear. Everything. Threes, pull-ups, mid-range, was getting to the rim, dunks. I mean, he was showing it all off on Saturday. We'll talk to Coach Brady about the Tigers and them falling a bit short to Texas on Saturday, getting Jalen Cook back. Cook had 13 in his return to LSU and into the lineup. Coach Brady was also in Lake Charles yesterday afternoon as McNeese and Will Wade topped Bob Marlin and UL 72-70 over in Lake Charles with the McNeese win. So we'll talk to Coach about that atmosphere with the Cowboys and Coach Wade. I did not. Jordan had a 7-on-7 tryout yesterday.
How'd he go?
F3?
Cream.
Cash rules everything
Is
around.
this a new team?
Cream.
It's an organization that's been around. He practiced up at Glen Oaks. But
So didn't he play with F3 last
yeah,
year?
they don't have a 13-year team.
Damn.
Where does it go from there?
Doesn't Ken have
So
a kid
12
that's like
to
13?
15?
Yeah. So they're playing. He's playing them up which would be like 15 years.
Yeah.
Which I'm all about playing up, but you know what? Like
7 on 7, that's
is
like,
huge.
it's a
That's
little
young.
different with
he's,
football.
he's
for
still
sure.
12.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'll let him get his run. You know,
Yeah.
get like some reps.
Mhm.
That confidence.
So we were out there. I mean, but I was watching on, kind of watching on the phone, and paying attention to it. But it was, I mean, it sounded like it was a great atmosphere, a great game. We'll talk to Coach Brady about it coming up here. LSU was able to pick up a couple in the transfer portal over the weekend. We'll talk about that. Lost their guy. We know where Quincy's going now. So lots to get to over the next 2 hours here as we appreciate you starting your week here with us. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button as we'll be here with you until 9 a.m. If you have not subscribed to the show, hit that subscription button before we get out of here, and we'll be out 2 hours from now. Lloyd is here. Stewie is here
Happy
live on this Monday.
Chinooka.
Jump inside of the chat if you have any thoughts, questions. You want to jump in? We'll be taking them here. But we'll start with LSU basketball yesterday. The women roll over Northwestern in another big win for LSU, especially on the scoreboard.
Damn, Northwestern State couldn't get them
my
out.
alumni.
And with about 4 minutes left, Anissa Morrow was making a drive to the rim in the open floor. Defender cut her off. She was called for a charge. Mulkey didn't like it. She charges off the bench onto the floor, gets in the referee's face, and LSU is without a coach for the last 4 minutes. Angel Reese had 25 and 14. Morrow added 16 and 14 of her own in an 81-36 win. It's the 11th straight win for LSU. They're now 11 and 1 as they just lost their the season opener versus Colorado. The freshman Michaela Williams finished with 14. Flaugier had 13 last night, and as we said, LSU will be on a break here until they travel up to Maryland, which is a little ode to Angel Reese for traveling back up to her neck of the woods. But Mulkey was ejected from the game with just under 5 minutes left.
Up 41.
As they were leading by 39 at the time.
Yeah, against 71-30 at this point.
And it was she got thrown out what, SEC tournament last year? Was that the last time did she get thrown out?
Did she?
I
don't think they threw her out.
I don't think
because that was her first time. Somebody on Twitter said this was her first time getting ejected from the game as LSU's coach.
Because we interviewed her after, and she was like, "Jordy, I was trying my best to get thrown out.
Right.
I was trying to get thrown out.
Alex, like, I don't know what you got to say."
I think she told the guy yesterday to throw her out. The guy said, "You need to get back," and she said, "I'm not leaving. You have to throw me out." And he was like, "All right."
You probably did he hit it with the small T?
Yeah, the small T.
Oh,
the quick whistle, small T. Yeah, right.
Get all right. She got her money's worth.
Yeah, she got her money's worth.
Hey, look,
it was
getting kicked out the game. You got to get your money's worth.
I mean, if you're up 40,
yeah,
Steve Kerr still doesn't know what happened.
Somebody actually asked me last week if I thought Mulkey was losing her fire. Like, she lost her.
Yeah, right.
Okay. She losing her edge, and I was like, I don't.
She must have heard that.
I don't think so.
She took that personal.
I texted her that last night after the game too. I was like, somebody asked me last week if you were losing your fire.
Ooh.
I would be terrified to throw her or even speak to her, to be honest. But to throw her out of a game when she gets back into basketball Kim Mulkey mode, you're like, dude, I don't know what she might throw hands.
I mean, she
Angel
lost
is literally pushing her to the coach.
I mean, it's funny after the game, Mulkey's telling the story. Angel looked in the stands and was like, "Kramer, help me."
Yeah,
I mean, come
this
get
is
your
mom, bro.
For God's sakes.
Somebody who should have listened to.
Not no one.
But Mulkey, she'll be here at 7:45 this morning. We'll talk to her about that. As we said, we'll talk to her about the break, getting thrown out, and what's next here for LSU is they'll travel up to Maryland and will be facing the Terps for their games back. Also over the weekend, a little bit of recruiting news as LSU was making some recruiting last week and some movement last week with a couple of in-homes, including a positive in-home with Don McKinley that I keep hearing very good things that came out of the Brian Kelly, Frank Wilson in-home visit to the Acadiana Star as a possibly closing here for LSU, very strong on that defensive front. They also picked up a couple of transfers in the weekend, including safety Jordan Gilbert, who committed to LSU, along with wide receiver Xavion Thomas. Thomas from Mississippi State, Gilbert from Texas A&M, respectively. LSU also found out that Fitzgerald West will play in the bowl game despite entering the transfer portal. This is kind of the part of the rule that I don't understand.
Yeah,
I mean, this whole thing.
I'm out, dog.
The NCAA, I know that they're getting exposed right now, and they got another loss heading their way coming up in late December. I mean, Wade's press conference was.
He said December 28th, the NCAA's done anyway.
He's like, I mean, this is all a moot point. It's like they're going to get crushed on December 27th anyway.
He's like, they're done.
I mean, welcome back, Will Wade.
Yes.
I mean,
wait, did you see what Chip Kelly said about the football thing?
Absolutely.
I
retweeted it.
Yeah, me and Lloyd were talking about it. I completely agree with it.
I completely agree
dude,
with it.
No notes.
He
crushed it.
He's just talking. Hold on, I got something to say.
Yeah, and I mean,
I'm smarter than y'all think.
He even kind of through in I mean, I've thought about this a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean, a little smart ass,
was a very real way.
Dumbass, y'all spent decades thinking about this.
How many committees do we need?
They sit up there in Indianapolis and do what?
And what? I'm over here in Oregon reinventing offenses. Now I'm at UCLA. Went to San Francisco. Got Nick Foles paid.
Yeah, I'm just
to Philly. But I hadn't thought about this at all.
But I see what he's saying though. Their basketball and their softball team should not be playing Michigan and Ohio State.
That's right.
It's the most obvious thing of all time. They're flying cross country to play
a basketball game.
Yeah, and it's no shade to the sport.
Right.
It just doesn't make any physical sense.
Not sustainable.
No, you got class in the morning, dog.
Huh?
I'm in Indiana.
Actually, we just played Rutgers last night.
Yeah. Caught the red eye on the way back for this Algebra 101.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense. And I mean, I retweeted. If you want to go to my Twitter account, we can play the tweet because I mean it It's fantastic.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Chip Kelly being just
Chip Kelly.
totally transparent, just kind of sitting there giving you his thoughts, telling you like whatever. This is dumb. I mean, you can pull up Will Wade's press conference too from last week. I mean, he's straight up. He was like, "It's dumb."
They're done.
He's like, "It's stupid." He's like, "All the rules are dumb."
He's like, the ACA is done.
I mean, he was like, it's stupid rules. You know, I mean, like they tell you who you can and can't take, and then they hold you accountable on those people. He's like, I mean, like, in what world does this exist? It's all illegal.
He's like, either tell me who I can't take,
Or let me take everybody.
Let me take everybody, and then
hold me accountable on them. You know, I mean, and he's right.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, just like Chip Kelly is, and the thing about Kelly
This whole
and
house of
Wade
cards.
that you know, like makes the most is like they're speaking with so much like common sensible tone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, there's just like, what are we doing? What are we even debating? Like all this stuff. I mean, like Wade, you know, is like kind of like pointing out like the academic requirements. Like all that stuff's about to be wiped out. Like that's illegal.
Yeah,
you know, like they can't tell you who you can and can't take.
They
right?
just
Like on what grounds, on what criteria, right? Like I mean, it's all this stuff is about to get blown up, but for so long, it's been accepted for whatever reason. You know, I mean, it's
been fugazi. It's been a fake like house of cards and a rules that you felt like you had to follow, and it was the dirty little secret of the NCAA. It's like, dude, if anybody ever feels like or figures out that they don't have to listen to us, what are we gonna do?
Right.
And Will Wade was at the tip of the spear where he literally died on the hill for it, and then now he's at a place where he walks on water at McNeese.
Right. Well, I mean, like, look, what are you going to do to this guy?
You know, I mean, they're like, probably so mad.
They are like, this guy, Will Wade.
Yeah.
I mean, like, is Lee Harvey Oswald out there somewhere?
Can we get him whacked?
I mean, like, who can we hire? I mean, like, this guy is going to break us.
And he's talking about it.
And now he's back in. He's gaining more momentum. He's in the state that he built the parade behind himself
Guns
on.
up.
I mean, more LSU fans were paying attention to McNeese. But I got more text messages.
In the balcony Bengals right there.
They made the trip.
They didn't even go to Houston.
I mean, like, they got more. They got LSU fans that the games are sold out yesterday. I mean, people are texting during the game like, bring Wade back. I mean, it's but for Wade and the NCAA, it's just more momentum behind his back. Like, hey, mess with him,
yeah,
and see what happens. Like,
you're just the wrong bear.
It's just you're gonna throw more to the army. You know what I mean? Like, you're just building a brigade that is only coming for you, and that's the NCAA. I mean, his press conference last week was. I
got both of them pulled up.
I don't give a bleep of a coach that I have ever seen.
Like,
ever. I mean, it is like, let's go to Chip Kelly's first. This is Chip Kelly after the bowl game. They played in the Holiday Bowl. They played in the LA Bowl.
Yeah.
They played in the LA Bowl. Here is Kelly following the UCLA bowl game on what should be next for college football. And the scary thing is it makes too much sense.
I think they're all a problem, and I think we need to have a conference commissioner. I think football should be separate from the other sports. Just the fact that our school is leaving to go to the Big Ten in football, our softball team should be playing Arizona in softball. Our basketball team should be playing Arizona in basketball. But because football left, and they're saying, well, how do you do that? Well, Notre Dame's independent in football, and they're in a conference and everything else. I think we should all be independent in football. And you can have a 64-team conference that's in the Power 5, and you can have a 64-team conference in the Group of 5. And we separate it, and we play each other. You can have the West Coast teams, and then every year we play 7 games against the West Coast teams, and then we play the East. So we play Syracuse, Boston College, Pitt, West Virginia. Then the next year you play against the South while you still play your 7 teams. You can play a 7-game schedule. You can play 4 against another another division opponent, and you can always play against one Mountain West team every year so that we can still keep those rivalries going. Not that I've really thought about this. Not that I've a lot of spent time on this. But I think if you went together collectively as a group and said there's 132 teams and we all share the same TV contract, so that the Mountain West doesn't have one and the Sun Belt doesn't have another and SEC has one and they have another, that we all go together. That's a lot of games, and there's a lot of people in the TV world that would go through it. You can sponsor each one. Instead of calling it Group of Five and Power Five, you can call it Amazon, Nike, bid that out to things. You do a lot of different things. But I think if we still do the same thing and take all that money, and I would do this, and I think this needs to be done, that money now needs to be shared with the student athletes, and there needs to be revenue sharing. The players should get paid, and you can get rid of NLI, and the schools should be paying the players because the players are what the product is. And the fact that they don't get paid is really the biggest travesty. Not that I've thought about it.
I mean, like, that's what we were talking last week. Put football people in charge. Put Chip Kelly ahead of the committee. I mean, like, oh, he's the UCLA head coach. I don't care.
Chip Kelly and Nick Saban.
I mean, like, put them ahead of the committee. Let them run it. I mean, like, he had sponsorship figured out. He had the way that you cut up the leagues, the teams, the way that you stay geographically relevant, where you don't have to have UCLA flying across the world every single week to go play Rutgers and, I mean, like, field hockey.
Old Dominion.
UCLA's closest to Japan.
I mean, but like, this is what we're talking. Put football people in charge of this stuff.
You're taking a bus.
I mean, you got Condoleezza Rice sitting in a room making decisions on college football when she's been worried about foreign affairs for her whole life. She don't care about college football.
What did Kanye say? I respect him, but what the hell does he know about football?
I mean, it's a joke. I mean, like, that is...
What is going on?
To hear Chip Kelly break it down like that.
I mean, he broke
make it
down
so simple. Figure out all the money, all the TV, keep from a scheduling standpoint, everything intact. And meanwhile, you've got all these suits and gray hairs thinking that they've got the answers, and they're just chasing the money where you can keep the money. Look, there's so much money in the sport, you can keep everybody paid. And as Kelly pointed out, like we were talking about last week, this is not NIL. This is not the way it was intended to be. There's still, nobody's paying the players from the money that they're bringing in. They're bringing in the money on the television contracts. That's what they're paying for. The TV is paying the leagues so they can show the games of the players. So it's their name, image, and likeness that are creating all of this money within the contract that they're saying, hey, we want to buy that. Okay, well then divvy up and give the players what they're due. So Gordon McKernan doesn't have to worry about raising money for every baseball, basketball, softball, and volleyball player in the state. It's really not his job to do that. It's the school, the league, and the NCAA on which the money is being made off of the sports to give the players their cut. That was the whole purpose of it. That's the part that's gotten lost, that nobody stood up and been like, yo. All these collectives that we're doing, all this more money that we have to raise. I can't imagine being a fundraiser on a college campus. I mean, we did a production with the LSU alumni organization this past year, Football Fridays, over at the Lod Cook. It was a tremendously successful Friday production that leading into the weekend was awesome. And learning a little bit about the arm of the LSU Alumni Association. I mean, they make their budget off of fundraising. The same way TAF does, the same way the collective does, the same way that other organizations on college football, college campuses are out there set to go. They're all talking to the same people. The alumni organization, TAF, college football collective, they're all going to the same people and asking for money. I mean, like, at what point do you're like, I just paid my tradition fund.
Now I'm going to buy you Oaks
I just paid this. Fund. It's like, well, what do I have to give NIL? Like, what do you need money for the collective for? If I'm cutting the check, I don't get anything in return. I know all that stuff's happening now with Bayou Traditions, and it's tax-free. You can write the tax off and all that stuff. But
look how complicated it is.
I mean, like, it's...
I just want to pay the kid.
It's not intended for that.
I want to pay Harold Perkins. Said money.
You can't say that.
And if you want to do that,
Why?
that should be another piece of money that Harold Perkins get. He should already get a cut from coming to LSU because it should be collectively bargained. By playing in this league, you get this amount of money because the TV contract was cut on your services for it.
Yeah, ESPN should be cutting that check. Send that thing from Bristol.
I don't
Would that
understand
make it
how
so
all
much
this is
easier?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you would think
It would also stop from obviously what's happening at Ole Miss, where, I mean, if you haven't seen Ole Miss's portal class,
they're just backing the truck
right.
up.
You just,
I mean, they've got 2 or 3 boosters that are like, F it.
yeah,
Write the check.
Go get the best players.
Who do they want? Walter Nolan, pay him. Defensive end, Florida, pay him. Sage Ryan, pay him.
Defensive end from Tennessee, pay him.
I mean, like they're paying everybody.
And you're going to see this, and I don't think that this is like strictly a Texas A&M problem, an Ole Miss problem, an LSU problem. It's going to be cyclical. Where
It's
there's
a
going to
country
be
problem.
No, there's going to be teams every 2 or 3 cycles that are like, let's make a run.
Yeah.
Like you're going to get your money up and go make a run at a portal, like a portal class where you're like, all right, we've been saving up. Now it's the time to go get Walter Nolan.
Well, in Ole Miss's case, I mean,
because you're not going to be able to do it year after year after year.
Next year is their last year to like kind of make that push.
Well,
They're getting everybody
selling
back.
out.
Yeah.
I mean, they got not only
Why would
are
you
they
not?
getting the portal class. You don't think you think Trey Harris is coming back for free?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean, like
Quinshawn Judkins.
I mean, like you got to pay these guys
Jackson
to come
Dart.
back.
Jackson, do you think a quarterback's coming back for free?
Not in this market.
No.
You think Walker Howard's coming back?
You'll
Not
be a
when I can
fourth-round
leave
pick,
and
or-
go get $1.5 million.
Yeah. Like you'd say, you want to be a 4th-round pick, you want to come back to Ole Miss for
come back to Ole
a
Miss
milli,
for whatever.
1.5. Cool.
Cool.
Work with Lane Kiffin.
That's my signing bonus.
Get
for
my
the fourth
get my
round.
draft stock up again. The real loser in this is Howard,
Yeah,
where he's like, shit.
Shit.
in the same situation.
And I'm getting paid.
Right. Remember our friends over at Go Roof Online, GEAUXroof.com. Go Roof Online at GEAUXroof.com. Residential, commercial roofing that you can find services for by dialing 225-927-8300. 225-927-8300 is the phone number. Get in touch with them today. They'll be up on the roof by lunchtime. They'll have your problem diagnosed. If you need a new roof, they'll get it done for you. They'll work directly with the insurance company, so they'll take the headaches out for you. 225-927-8300. 225-927-8300. A beautiful roof every single time when you work with our friends from Go Roof. So you hear from Chip Kelly. Chip Kelly makes enormous amounts of sense, right? Breaks it down. It's almost like a coloring book. I mean, it's very easy. Just color in between the lines and don't overthink this stuff. I mean, you're not losing money if you can geographically set this thing up. You can sell sponsorships, the TV contracts, still work out, put football on its own island, keep everybody in the same conferences outside of the sport of football. And, I mean, don't overthink this thing, right? Here's Will Wade breaking it down last week to even more of an elementary level for the NCAA of just how crooked, corrupt, and illegal the organization is. I mean, at the Bear, which we have heard from America's highest court, has told the NCAA, Mark Emmert, the president, 3.5 years ago, looked at him in his face and was like, how do you think you can get away with this? Really? In every single country in the world, third world countries included, this is illegal.
Mark, what do you do at night?
Not only that, not only has the model not been blown up and it still exists, there's nobody talks about that.
Well, because Jordy, they get books and they get a place to stay.
And Wade calls this out on Thursday. Here's Will Wade last week.
It's free tuition. It's free school. Oh, he looks like. Oh, you might have to refresh it. The old Twitter if you keep it in there too long.
Yeah.
Curtis Blanchard, Jordy, you had me all messed up thinking the ladies were playing.
Northwestern.
No, Maryland this week. They're not playing Maryland. They're playing Coppin State in Baltimore.
Yes. They're just going back to the roots.
That's right.
For Angel Reese, Omar coming.
Omar,
they'll have to watch The Wire.
Yeah, they did. You got. I mean, if you go to Baltimore,
that's what Kim wanted to get back to the locker room for.
Omar died, didn't he?
Yeah. Oh my God!
In real
what
life.
if somebody
in real life?
Oh.
Yeah, you died in real life.
No spoiler alert.
Yeah, no spoilers.
We don't do spoilers on this show.
We would never.
But I mean, every time I saw that guy, he was Omar.
He is, yeah.
I mean,
that's like Ari.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeremy Piven is Ari.
I mean, he has to live like that. I mean,
he's a
you're just been
typecast.
too good at your job.
Rocky is Rambo.
Yes.
Rambo is Rocky.
I mean, look, there's a strong legal argument that these kids should not lose
Too comfortable.
eligibility. And it goes to court, the kids will not lose eligibility. I've been, you never know anything for 100% sure. But this thing, December 27th, the NCAA is toast anyway. They're going to get beat again on the 27th. So it's a moot point. They're getting beat again. And they'll get beat again after that, and they'll get beat again after that. However, legally, a lot of what the NCAA does is just flat illegal. I've learned that through all my stuff, through all this stuff. Like it doesn't. There's a reason they're trying to get antitrust exemption from Congress. And so, I mean, they just need to blow the whole thing up and come back with a new model, and they need to collective bargain with the players. It's the only way they can make this thing work. And until they do that, they're just going to get smacked in court. I mean, they're just going to get smacked because it's in any other
Avenue.
Line of work. What they do is totally illegal, and so. I mean, they're just going to get smacked in court. It's really by the players and parents and stuff more than it is the schools. But I do think the schools are now realizing, look, the organization's got some real flaws to it. And, hey, you can do whatever you want, but if it comes back and we win, we can punish you. The fact that got overturned, they're toast. Their initial eligibility requirements are now out the window. Like all the initial eligibility stuff, if the restitution's out, you can just play whoever you want, which is what you should be able to do anyway. This is how it's screwed up there. They're the only organization in the world that you have initial eligibility standards, right? You've got to meet the initial eligibility standards. So they're going to tell you who your school can take. You can only take the people that meet their initial eligibility standards to play sports. And then they're going to hold you accountable through the APR for who they tell you to take. Either let everybody take whoever they want and then hold them accountable for the APR, or give them initial eligibility standards and don't worry about the APR. You can't do both. You can't tell them who to take, then hold them accountable for who you tell them to take. It's stupid. The whole thing's stupid, and it's all
Forget.
None of it lines up linear. It's all just, think about that. They tell you who to take, then they hold you accountable for who they tell you who to take. What other job can do that? You can hire who you want to work on sound off, right? And then you're held accountable for who you hired. You don't get held accountable for what your boss tells you to hire. Your boss gets held accountable. It's stupid. The whole thing's stupid, and people are starting to figure that out.
The whole thing is stupid.
It's so personal.
NCAA, dude.
It's so personal.
It makes him so
It
mad.
should be personal for Will Wade.
It
absolutely should be personal in a day and world where Bill Self gets a lifetime contract and Will Wade loses his job, and they did the same exact thing.
Both
think
on
so,
wiretaps.
Ron?
Same exact thing.
Both on wiretaps.
Anybody that wants to argue that is going to lose. They will be on the NCAA side. Tim Brando, Dick Vitale, all these people that want to give you
Dick.
I mean, Mike Krzyzewski did it right. No, he didn't. He did the same thing that Bill Self was doing.
Rick Pitino.
I mean,
He
come
did the
on
same
now.
thing that Rick Pitino was doing. He did the same thing that Jerry Tarkanian was doing at UNLV when he was playing with the mob.
You think Zion wanted to go to Duke?
The Brotherhood.
I mean,
These people are so.
But Will Wade, it feels like he finally is like, he peeled back the curtain of the Wizard of Oz, where he's like, "See, I've been trying to tell you,
Right.
There's nothing back there.
back here.
right, it's all
Like,
illegal. When they get
finally,
when
It's
they
a
get into the
facade.
court of
I'm
law,
not taking
they're not going
acid.
to win.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
that building is just a bunch of
Yeah,
old
that
people
house of cards. He walked by and knocked a card out, and he got slammed for it. And he's like, "Dude, everybody take a card."
Got to go to work this morning.
Yeah, it's Enron.
Gotta
It's
make
not
that
real.
Got to
It
make
is.
that 10:30 tea time though.
Yeah,
But for
like,
whatever reason, they still keep existing.
because
Yeah.
they keep making themselves exist.
Well, I mean,
How?
Exactly. That's what everybody's wondering.
Well, they're over there saying we still have the NCAA tournament.
The fact that
that's where they're that's where
Them-
they're important at.
Them trying to double down on the 14-day. It was
Unreal.
like, do you have any feel for the room
You
at
have
all?
no, like, do you have any
We'll
sense?
punish you again.
Imagine being the NCAA's legal counsel.
Oh, just hope you're on
my
retainer.
God.
Like,
I
you're
mean, I'm
getting
sure they
paid
are.
so much money.
Like, I'm sure they're on retainer, but it's just like every day.
Well, now it's like 5 lawsuits. What, are they in court 5 times now?
They should be shut down.
And now you got Will Wade with the ESPN microphone in his face being like, this is what it's about.
And
y'all.
that was
like,
Chip Kelly, too, with the ESPN mic in his face.
Like,
man.
it's getting real run.
Ugh.
It should.
I would not want to be on their legal team. Like, just every day. Phone just blowing up. Hey, can you come up here real quick? Just need some legal counsel real quick.
We're back in the news again. Like, well, we're lying the entire time. Like, dude, I think they
figured it out.
Boo, I think they got us.
They're biting.
Martin,
They're biting.
we're in trouble.
Fellas,
They're figuring the whole...
Yeah, Emmert's not in trouble. Emmert left.
Yeah,
He was like, give me my buyout.
Yes.
I'm out, dog.
Pay me. Like,
Goodell's got a great deal.
I want access to the jet. I want like, get me out of here.
You got your
Y'all go
private
hire that
flight.
politician from New Hampshire.
Can I still keep
I'm gone.
Can I still keep the country club card? though?
Yes.
I mean, like,
Augusta, right, boys?
tea time. What?
Charlie Baker, who's
Playing
trying.
36. Yeah, he is. But I mean, like, he has to know too.
I mean,
this is all a losable
Yeah, I was about
proposition,
to say,
boys.
he-
I mean, like,
They
How did
put him
y'all-
in the worst job ever and said, go win.
It might be the greatest fugazi of all time.
it could be.
Where it was just the biggest front ever.
I mean,
Where, like,
that
I mean, they've gone to court. They should have known what was it, 1984 or 86, the Board of Regents versus Oklahoma. Whenever they started, this was when the antitrust and Sherman thing started because they were suing for TV time. They were telling who could play on TV and who couldn't. Oklahoma was like, you can't do that. You're deciding
Because
who's making
Nebraska
money.
was getting all the run.
And Notre Dame. And they're like, you can't decide who gets to be on TV or who doesn't.
like
because
that's up to the TV people.
you're setting a market up for, like, you're setting us up to fail, essentially, because we don't get to be on TV. They do. Now people want to go to that school.
Yeah.
And so they went to court about it. The Supreme Court, like, yeah, you can't. This is when it became a free, essentially, like, free market for how the TVs bid on the games. And it's happened in the 80s, and then it became the SEC network, the ACC network, like the Longhorn network. Like, that's how all this started.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And the NCAA was just trying to hold on. Like, the Longhorn network,
Yeah.
well, I guess, it's Texas. You got to let them have that.
Right.
And then they're like, the SEC, of course. Notre Dame can't touch that.
That was a big selling point on NCAA.
Yes.
Had to sell the TV, man.
but,
You
like,
can be on TV.
That's what it was. It's like the Longhorn network, and I remember that being like a huge point of contention. Like, they get their own network, and the SEC was like, what?
Show you this, boy. What do you think about that?
What do you think about that?
Now that they get their own network, we're going to invite them over to ours
Yeah,
in
how
a
about
couple
we
of
buy
years.
your little Longhorn network?
Right.
Your little Longhorn.
They'll be
network.
playing with us.
That was easy, boys.
Mac Brown. You're gonna
Yeah, I
love
mean,
it.
I love the fact that they're finally getting exposed. I mean, they need more Will
Oh, they were
Wades and
naked
Chip
in the
Kellys
woods.
out there. Yes,
I mean,
like,
Jim Harbaugh came out and said the players should get like TV revenue.
that is what NIL was all invented on.
yeah.
Like, it was not invented so Gordon McKernan could start paying people.
Yeah.
Gotten so out of hand.
I mean, like,
It
that
is.
is
It's
what
like
the
way
whole
outta
thing
hand.
was. It wasn't so you could go, like, Gordon was gravy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm supposed to be getting money just by showing up.
Yeah.
Like, y'all are getting, you keep building these facilities, you're paying your basketball coach $3 million. There's nobody at the game. I mean, like,
Red Panda.
How are you doing this?
But Red Panda's there.
Because football's making a windfall. That's how. Okay, all right. Okay, now I got you.
You see-
So why don't the defensive end, why didn't he make his cut? Well, he does. Gordon's paying. That's not Gordon's role.
Not on the team.
It's not his job. It's not his role. It's not his role to do that. I mean, how are you going to get Bryce Under? Well, we got Gordon on the phone. Well, that's not his job. I mean, like,
I heard Kayshawn wants to go to Alabama.
it's just, I mean, like,
Call Gordon.
It's not even functioning the way that it was set up to work. Like, and people are still out there complaining about it. It's like, hey, NCAA, you still have to open up your books and give them the money.
Books. Oh, we burn those.
Yeah. Soot.
It's like,
That's all we have. Trash can full of
You put this little document together.
Well, I mean, like, how do you sign the $1 billion contract?
A lot of paper
TV.
shirts in there.
You know what I mean? Like, how do you get a $1 billion deal in television? You tell them that you've got Heisman Trophy winners, that you've got national championship teams, that you've got marquee players, that you've got guys that everybody are going to tune in every Saturday to watch. Well, who's making the money on it? We are. Like, what?
What did you
What
do?
do you mean? Like, NIL was invented so you guys could divvy up the cash. Like, shh. Don't tell them that. Let the lawyers keep paying them off.
Yeah.
You know, like let them keep doing the
Nobody look at
NIL deals. It's like, no. This isn't even.
Todd Graves is the richest person in Louisiana. He can write that check.
Yeah, right.
This isn't even. This isn't even how it's supposed to work.
Build their own fucking stadium.
It's and they don't get called on that.
I mean,
it's amazing, man. It really is.
wild place the NCAA.
Remember, Daily, we're brought to you by Katie's Restaurant, New Orleans, our favorite. Get over and see Scott Craig and the crew on Iberville Street, right in the heart of Mid-City. 6 new televisions upstairs, embracing the new Sunday hours, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. If you're looking for NFL matchups and want to watch football games, get over to Katie's in Mid-City. Katie'sInMidCity.com is where you can find them online. We will talk to Kim Mulkey coming up here in a couple of minutes. Coach Mulkey and the crew, 11th straight win yesterday, a double-double for both Angel Reese and Anissa Morrow. We'll talk to her about her squad as they get geared up for a road trip to Coppin State. They're heading to Baltimore on Wednesday to take on Baltimore. Then they'll have the break for Christmas. We'll talk to Coach what she's seen in her team, how they've improved since that opening night loss. What's the status of Haley Van Lith going into January? We'll get all of that and much more. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button. We're going to talk some more about recruiting here in the second hour. John Brady's going to join us at 8 a.m., so we'll get filled in on some SEC basketball. Jalen Cook joining the roster and getting out on the floor versus Texas. What did he think about that? And, of course, Jordan Wright's performance on Saturday versus Texas, where the Baton Rouge native had 30 in the second half versus the Longhorns, but LSU came up a little bit short in Houston on Saturday. We'll talk to Coach Brady there, but we want to get to some recruiting information, including Caden Durham, who just made an enormous statement before his recruiting cycle officially closes, as he will ink his letter of intent and sign officially on Wednesday coming up this week on December 20th. But Durham's performance in the Texas State Championship game was epic on Saturday as the 4-star. I mean, if this guy's not a 5-star, what is 5-star? How do you get a 5-star? I mean, how do you get 5 stars in high school football? If Caden Durham
Coach, you got to fill the Gatorade
is not a 5-star football player, what do they look like?
Pass.
22 carries, 231, and 3 touchdowns in the state championship game versus North Shore as Duncanville wins 49-33 in the highest classification of Texas football that exists. Durham was the best player on the field, and he's going to LSU. He had the LSU gloves on. He ripped off a 90-yarder where he was just running away from everybody, and it didn't even look like he was trying.
It looked like he finally got to have fun. He's like, let me show y'all how fast I am.
Whenever we were talking about the Louisiana high school state championships, Coach, Texas has way more. Because Texas and Duncanville and DeSoto are both 6A schools, but they didn't play each other for the state championship.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. So if we want to talk about divisions, it's a lot. Yeah.
They played in the regular season, though, didn't they?
They played, yeah, they're in the same district.
Wow.
What?
But they don't play in the same division for the state championship.
So
DeSoto plays Summer Creek, which is where Xavier Atkins plays, and they beat the breaks off.
Yeah, I heard Atkins didn't have a good game.
I mean, have you seen DeSoto's offensive line? They got a kid that's 6'7", 340.
They shut down Colin Simmons.
Yeah, like DeSoto is pretty good, but I mean, I just the high school sports is a racket too.
They're next.
Kim Mulkey next. We will talk to Coach after last night's win next year on the Jordy Culotta Show. Come right back with us.
Do you think she has an opinion on the debate on Twitter if the men's baseball team could beat the women's basketball team? I bet she has some thoughts.
Hey, Chino. Cut my headphones up, bro.
Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz.
The Jordy Culotta Show is brought to you by A-Bears Lawn Maintenance. Commercial or residential, A-Bears Lawn Maintenance is ready to work. A-Bears can tackle all your homeowners association requirements. Call Blake at 225-485-8022. A-Bears Lawn Maintenance.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Hey Tiger fans, when you're traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, make sure to visit Tom and Wright Granning at Go-Mart and On The Go Deli, where you can fill up your tank and your belly. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you may need on your trip. Located at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left. Also stop by Wardo's Po' Boys at 309 North Broadway on the beautiful Natchez Bluff, where the Po' Boys are so good you'll swear you're in Cajun country.
At Ochsner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
All right, buddy. Make it a good shot.
Oh, yeah.
Sticking the roof in.
For a hole in your roof, or a whole new roof, go roof. Roof, roof, go roof.
Yeah, right there. Now I'm focused on getting deposits. Evil in the way, now I'm just driving around it. They said I need a soul searching, I already found it. I ain't like my.
All right, big one for the ladies yesterday as they roll past Northwestern 81-36. Double-double for a couple of the superstars. Angel Reese had 25 and 14, and Anissa Morrow had 16 and 14 as LSU ripped off their 11th straight. They'll be in Baltimore Wednesday night before the Christmas break. And Coach Kim Mulkey was tossed for the first time yesterday. It didn't look like she was going to take anything less than being tossed out of that game. It looked like, if you were reading lips, it looked like the referee said, "Get back," and Mulkey said, "No, throw me out." And he said, "All right," and double-teed her. And she was shown in the locker room with 4:56 left in the fourth. She talked a little bit about it in the post-game last night, but wanted to track down Coach Mulkey and get her on here on this Monday morning and ask her about the schedule now with Christmas break on the horizon. What is the status of her team going into a little bit of a break here, and what has she learned about the squad here through the first 12 games of the season? And we welcome in the Queen, the Olympian, the national champ, and LSU's head coach, Kim Mulkey, here on this Monday morning. Coach, good morning. How are you?
I'm doing great, I think. I feel like I'm a little congested. I guess it was that walk from the court to the locker room at the end of the game that just has me all congested this morning.
Coach, I thought your athleticism has not left you at all. The intent to get from your chair to the referee, like I told you last night, it was surprising you didn't almost run into him, how fast you closed on him, but you've
been practicing the press, Coach.
You did not like the call, obviously, Coach. Take me to last night.
Well, I can't talk about officiating, but if you're talking about my reaction to getting tossed, it was time. And I thought that I just needed to send a message. I know most people don't understand my intensity and passion, but let me say this, Jordy. I'm not out of control. I will never touch a referee. I will never do anything crazy. I just have always believed if you're going to get a technical and get ejected, get your money's worth. And I've been ejected before and didn't get my money's worth. I meant to get ejected yesterday. In fact, there were no cuss words said. I just told him that I'm not going to get off of him, that he might as well eject me because I'd had seen enough. And I think a couple calls actually just kind of put me over the edge, and they were done within a time span of a minute or two right there toward the end of the game. And I just actually, believe it or not, had told my staff, I said, guys, I might get ejected today if I see another call like that. So I think my staff is they're just amazed because I just called it. And I think some of my kids heard me. I said, guys, if another call is made like that, I might get ejected today. And it happened.
Wow. Well, the passion is still there for sure. Angel getting in the middle of you, I thought was pretty cool, and the story of looking into the asking for Kramer for help. That was kind of a cherry on top of it. But tell me about your team last night. Obviously, it's a huge win, and the score was a big gap. What did you see from your group yesterday as far as getting them out there on the floor and playing together again?
Jordy, any win is huge. I don't take any win lightly. I thought they did exactly what they should do. I'm talking about Northwestern. They held the ball. If you watch the game, they didn't take shots until very little left on the shot clock. So they wanted to shorten the game, make it as ugly as possible, and keep us from having that many possessions. And it was a smart move. So consequently, I pressed the entire game. I have not done that in years, not even at Baylor. But we have a full court press, and we have a 1-2-1-1 full court zone press. And I thought we need to not have slow starts. We need to have excitement throughout the game, and that's why I press. I wasn't concerned about the score. At this stage, December, before the Christmas break, before you start conference play, you're focused on your team. And that's what I was doing, and it didn't matter who was in the game. We were going to press the entire time.
Coach, I know you were asked last night in the post game about it, and you referenced a couple of bigs that you've coached throughout your career, and it seems like you've always had talented big people on your team, and you've had tandems at time. And Reese and Morrow are a little bit of a different tandem as far as their size and skill goes to what you've had in years past. But these two seem to be really, from a chemistry standpoint, really vibing together. What do you see from them in practice, and then when they play in the game? Their stat lines were beautiful last night. Reese had 25 and 14. Morrow had 16 and 14. What do you see out of them?
I see exactly what I anticipated I would see. Two just fierce rebounders fighting over the ball. The very first rebound off the glass, they were fighting over it, and one let the other have it. And then the next time down the floor, the same thing happened again, and the other one let the other have it. I love that. You see two players that their games are different. Morrow can face you up and shoot it right in your face. Angel, if she faces you up, she's going to take you strong to the basket. Angel can do more with her back to the basket, even though she doesn't really like that. They can both face you up, but Morrow can face you up deeper. She can take you outside to the three, which only opens it up more for Angel in there. I think people forget how unselfish Angel really is. Angel could lead us in assist, and she also just wants to win. She's the main one that'll come to me in the course of a game and say, Coach, give Aaliyah some minutes. Take me out right now. Aaliyah has got to help us down the stretch. She's the biggest we have on the team. She's a freshman. She could lose her confidence if things don't go good. So those are the little things that I love about Angel Reese that people really don't see. She's very unselfish.
Coach, tell me about a couple of your youngsters that are coming along, because Del Rosario's been playing some really positive minutes. She had 17 minutes for you last night. Even Janae Kent, it gave you 16 minutes last night. Those are players that you're going to need down the stretch, including Velez. What have you seen of the development of your youngsters as they come along here early in the schedule?
Your freshman year is the absolute toughest year of your college career, and that's in all sports. And until you live it, you don't really want to hear it. Mm-hmm. And it's very important that whatever time they have on that court, that it's productive. And the way it's productive is you put them as a coach in position to look good. Aaliyah has done her part. Aaliyah has gotten herself in the best shape she's ever been in her life. Her body just looks totally transformed and different. And she, of late, is just really confident. And I attribute all that to her, but also our coaching staff and the amount of work they've put in with Aaliyah. Janae has not gotten the minutes that Aaliyah has, but she did last night because Flage was in foul trouble, and Haley Van Lith is not playing, so she's next man up off the bench on the perimeter. So you tell them, do two things when you're on that floor. Don't turn the basketball over, and don't let your man score. If you score, if you get a steal, if you do those things, that's icing on the cake. Just go into that game and do those two things. Focus on those two things, and the others will happen for you.
How's the status of your point guard, Van Lith, at this point?
She's good. She's just nursing an old plantar fasciitis injury. I don't even know if you call it an injury. It's just something that aggravates you, and we were able to rest her in December to be ready to go in January when it matters.
Besides the win, what are you looking for out of this road trip to Baltimore Wednesday night?
Well, I want to be warm. I just looked at the temperatures there, and I thought, I got to pack a coat. Angel Reese is the reason we're going there, and you want Angel to just enjoy herself. She has done a lot for her community back in Baltimore. She's done a lot for the Baton Rouge community. And for us to go back with her to see where she grew up, to see how much Baltimore loves her, it's gonna be fun. And then after the game, we'll all disperse and go our separate ways and enjoy our families for Christmas.
You've played 12 of them up to this point, Coach, and you've had some adversity, you've had some injuries. You're still in the top 10, and you're only one loss. What do you make of your team heading into this part of the schedule?
Well, I think we've gotten better. Certainly, 2 more games, and the first part of our season will be done, and then I will ask them to grade themselves. You tell me, A through F, where you think we were at the end of this first part of our season. And then as we head into conference play, we'll do the same thing when we're done with conference play, and then we'll do the same thing when we're done with the SEC tournament. I do think we've gotten better. The hard part for me to really evaluate is, we've had a few things happen to us. We missed Angel for a while. We had Kateri Poole gone. We had Samaya gone. We have Haley out right now. It would have been an easier evaluation for me had it been perfect and none of those things happened. However, I've really, really thought our perseverance, I thought our will to win carried us through some games, especially in the Cayman Islands. And as I said then, the Virginia game will go down in my coaching as one of the more gutsiest performances I've had by not just Morrow, but the entire team.
Great win last night, Coach. Great to talk to you. Best of luck Wednesday, and Merry early Christmas. We'll talk again soon.
All right. Happy holidays to everyone.
Yes, ma'am. There she is, the legend, the queen, the champ.
Almost dropped a happy Hanukkah.
I thought I was going to give you a happy Chanukah.
That's right.
It sounds like it was
Do you have the Smokey Robinson? Oh, sweet. All right, John Brady is going to be here. We're going to talk a little bit more basketball with Coach. We'll ask him about getting Jalen Cook back. What did it mean for the Tigers? Obviously, a tough loss versus Texas and Houston on Saturday, but for LSU men's basketball. Where does Coach Brady have them going into the second half of the season, or at least after Christmas here? And then he was over at McNeese yesterday in Lake Charles. What was that atmosphere like as Willie Wade and McNeese got a big win over UL Raging Cajuns? We'll be right back. More of the show coming back.
In their arena.
Hour 2 of the show next here, live from Click Here Digital. Come back with us.
Can't let you fold up, keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip.
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McKernan?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and in every Louisiana house, all the creatures were stirring.
Santa's coming.
Even the mouse. The stockings were hung, the cookies were out. Santa was on his way to Louisiana, there was no doubt. So let's celebrate the season and start the new year off right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
It was Christmas Eve, Santa Claus was riding in his sleigh. He was packed with toys for the girls and boys, merrily on his way. When a bridge riding on a reindeer pulled right. Santa Claus got Gordon, got it done.
Merry Christmas from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
Finishing us! Finishing us! Let's be special! Let's be strong! Let's spell greatness from the top! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on.
Did you do it?
Hold on. Did you do it?
Rusa!
Hold on.
Rusa?
Rusa!
Rusa!
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at clickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at clickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at clickheredigital.com.
Circumstances start to change and they jump in the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bounce the bat like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration.
All right, welcome back here, Jordy Culotta Show. Appreciate Coach Kim Mulkey stopping by here live on this Monday. From one coach to another, our coach here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Good to always catch up with John Brady, who was on the call Saturday for LSU basketball versus Houston. Jordan Wright, what a performance for him in the second half. We'll talk all about it with the coach. He was also in McNeese yesterday for Will Wade and the Cowboys versus Marlin and the Cajuns, a showdown over in Lake Charles. We'll get Coach's thoughts on that, but we welcome you back here to the program on this Monday. John Brady. Coach, good morning. How are you?
Doing well, Jordy. You doing good?
Yes, sir. Doing good here on this week of Christmas. Good to talk to you.
Wonderful.
Coach, Jordan Wright's performance on Saturday, you sat courtside for a lot of classic LSU basketball performances, whether you were coaching it or calling it on the radio. What'd you make of what he did in the last 20 minutes on Saturday?
It's incredible. I told him after the game, I don't usually say much to players because that's not my place, but I went up to him after the game and I told him that the second half that I just saw him do was maybe as good a second half performance as I've ever seen an LSU player perform in, and certainly, I mean, that was 30 points in the second half. That's up there with Pete Maravich and people like that. I mean, when it comes to production, and I thought defensively he was really good as well. And thank goodness he did play well the second half, because outside of him, there wasn't a lot of production that we got. I think Jalen Cook helped us a little bit in terms of being able to get by his man and create some rotation in the defense of who we were playing. But certainly I thought his performance really gave us an opportunity to win the game.
Have you seen that, like a spark that could exist, Coach? Because he had everything working on Saturday. He was getting to the rim. He was pulling up in mid-range. He was hitting from behind the three-point line. Like you said, his defense was solid as well. I mean, have you seen a sign of that through the first couple of games of the season, that he could play that high of a level?
Well, he never gave any indication that he could play like that. But, the other thing is he got the minutes too. And sometimes sometimes he's been taken out for sometimes I'm not sure as to why. He's supposed to be our maybe our best perimeter player, obviously, when he came in here. He's graduated from Vanderbilt. He's a guy that, in my mind, should probably be playing 34, 35 minutes a game and just let him play. I mean, because when we come in with somebody else, they haven't proven they could do that. So maybe now he will get the minutes and just let him go and let him play. And he seemed to, we'll see as time goes on, Jordy, but maybe his comfort level with Jalen Cook on his flank might have helped him a little bit. It seemed we had a nice flow of offense, but certainly I think one of the things that this LSU team hasn't demonstrated is who is the consistent performer that can score 17 or 18 a game and get 8 or 9 rebounds. We've been inconsistent in who Coach McMahon can rely on to perform at that level. Now, certainly, Jordan Wright's not going to come out and get 30 and a half every game, but he did indicate that he's our best perimeter player, and I think he's earned the right for us to just go with him and let him play 34, 35 minutes a game.
You mentioned Cook. He was back 13-6 for the senior point guard and Walker native. Obviously, he's been on the shelf for a bit, but first time seeing him, what'd you see?
I've always liked him. I liked him here as a freshman, and he went to Tulane and demonstrated what he can do, and averaged 19 or 20 a game for a couple of years there, and was first team all league. So, I think as he gets involved and gets more comfortable, certainly I think he's going to be that Jalen Cook will be as good a guard as we can have at this particular time. And he's another guy that I would just let him play minutes, particularly the next couple of games coming up against Lamar and Northwestern State. That's a great opportunity for him to really get comfortable, get any anxiety he has out of him so he can play at the highest level, because you got A&M on the road. And then, Jordy, in my mind, A&M on the road is certainly going to be a challenge for this LSU team. But the Vanderbilt game at home is an opportunity to win an SEC game, and I think that's an important game for this team.
Coach, another player that seems to give very positive minutes is Derek Fountain, who had 11 points in 30 minutes on Saturday. He was 6 of 9 from the field. What have you made of the Mississippi State transfer here in the early part of this season?
Well, here's what I think about him. I think, we just talked about the inconsistency of some of these players, but I think he's one of the guys that has been most consistent with his attitude, his approach. He seems to be the same way whether he starts or comes off the bench, and his approach to either situation has been good. And so I like him. With Will Baker not playing as well, and Jalen Reed has been up and down. I think an insertion of him possibly into the lineup could provide some consistency, because I think you're going to get 10 or 12 points from Derek Fountain every game, 6 or 7 rebounds. He seems to have a good approach on the defensive end, and I think he's been really consistent in his positive play. One of the most consistent players on the team to this point.
Yeah, without question. Coach, when you talk about this league and you look around, obviously Ole Miss was playing well. They were in San Antonio on Saturday night. I saw Auburn beat the hell out of Bronny James and USC on the Plains Saturday morning. What have you made of the early portions of SEC play?
Well, I think the league has somewhat been all over the place. You can inject a loss to a couple of SWAC teams and that sort of thing. But I think some of these teams with new players are just starting to find each other. And I think as the season goes along, particularly in SEC play, that you'll find those top 4 or 5 teams separating themselves from the bottom 4 or 5. And I said in the beginning of the year that I think the SEC is top heavy, and the opportunity to win games is with the Missouri, or South Carolina, or Vanderbilt, and Georgia. And those are the teams that we need to target, because I think, the Kentuckys and the Auburns, the Alabamas, Arkansas, I think those are going to be difficult teams for LSU to match up with. But certainly there are some opportunities for victories of the ones I just talked about, and I think that's the target we need to find. And that's why I think that Vanderbilt game at home for this particular LSU team is an important one.
Yeah, LSU, as Coach said, will open up conference play on the road in College Station versus A&M on January 6th, and then they'll be home on January 9th in Baton Rouge versus Vanderbilt. Coach, how do you navigate this break with your team from a coaching seat as you kind of lose your team for a little bit, not lose them, but you don't have access to them every day with the Christmas holiday. How do you navigate this part of the schedule?
Well, I always liked it because I always thought that you don't have class anymore. You may give them a couple of days off for Christmas, but get them back in the gym. And I think it's a time over the next 10 or 12 days to improve the play of your team. You kind of know who is what after the games that we've played. And it's a good time to really coach them and improve them and work on the things that you think this team needs. And it's kind of like playing in the NBA now. All you got is basketball. You don't do anything else. You can watch tons of tape. You can get on the floor. Work on the things that are necessary, and I think over the next 10 or 12 games, 10 or 12 days, and then the 2 games we have sprinkled in between with Lamar and Northwestern State, I think it's a great chance for this team to show some improvement.
As Coach said, a little bit of a Christmas break here, then January 6th back on the floor. Coach, you were in Lake Charles yesterday afternoon. It seems like a lot of Baton Rouge was in Lake Charles yesterday afternoon as Will Wade and the McNeese State Cowboys defeated the Louisiana Lafayette Cajuns 74-72. What was your point of view of it? Seemed like a great environment.
Oh, I'd never been to the new place at McNeese. You get about 4,000 in there. I think it seats about 4,200, and there was at least 4,000 people in there. And then, the background with Will and Bob Marlin at Lafayette added some extra drama to the game. And you look at the history of basketball in Louisiana, that's been a rivalry for a long time because back when they were years ago, that was a huge rivalry, and it continues with the personality of those two coaches. And, it's a nice atmosphere there. McNeese got a nice place to play. Will's done a great job of creating some interest there. His team is really good. I would be surprised if they don't win the Southland Conference by what I saw yesterday. And we were over there the night before because we drove from Houston to Lake Charles and spent the night on Saturday. And Will was gracious enough to come by and spend about an hour or so with us at dinner. And it was pretty fun. And there was some Baton Rouge people there, but that's a credit to Will and the following that he created. And I've got some lifelong friends here, and so has he made some lifelong friends here as well. But it was a great game, and McNeese squeaked it out. There was a stretch there, Jordy, where there were like 4 or 5 technicals called, and Lafayette went to the line, made 5 out of 6 free throws, and got the ball and got it to 12 with about 7 to go. And then McNeese came down and made some serious 3-pointers down the stretch, and were able to hang on and win the game. So it was a great game for McNeese to win against a rival that's just right down the road in Lafayette.
Coach John Brady, the LSU Sports Radio Network, SEC legend, Final Four coach of the Tigers, and now, as we said, right alongside of Chris Blair as his broadcast partner. They'll have a little break here for Christmas, and then they'll be back on the call in College Station on January 6th as LSU will open up conference play versus Texas A&M. Always good to hear from you, Coach. We'll talk again soon. Merry Christmas, and have a good week.
Chinooka.
You too, Jordy. Talk to you soon, brother.
All right, man. See you. All right, there he is, John Brady, checking in. That conversation brought to you by Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Remember, Barker Brothers, located in Plaquemine, Louisiana. You can get in touch with Jude Barker just by dialing up 225-776-2431 with our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. They got a couple of trucks working this side of the river every single day. As we said, they're headquartered in Plaquemine, but they have a presence on East Baton Rouge. If you want to get in touch with them, call them, 225-776-2431. Mention the Jordy Culotta Show, save 15% on the bottom line. Whatever service you get, save 15% if you mention the show. Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. We'll be back more live here from Click Here Digital. We'll switch the conversation and focus to football. As we mentioned, big recruiting weekend as Caden Durham and the boys from Duncanville shined. DK Moore had a big touchdown reception in that state title game versus North Shore. So LSU commits on display, including early signing period coming up here on Wednesday. For the Tigers, what should LSU expect as far as early enrollees? Any news as far as concerned as anybody that they could flip? I know all eyes are on Don McKinley right now, the big defensive end out of Acadiana. We'll talk all about that when we come back here. Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Monday. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll be back here from Click Here Digital.
Send the video.
Already found it. I ain't like my other side, now I'm sounding astounded. Drive by and let it ride like a whip in a Tesla. Pressure never fazed me cause I'm bigger than pressure. I'm on my
If you're in the market for a mortgage lender, you need to start with Doug Bickley and his team. Bickley has built a crew with over 50 years of combined lending experience. They've been in business for over 20 years, and they love helping their clients achieve the American dream of home ownership. They're also key with working in real estate agents and helping their clients getting same-day pre-approval. They average about one buyer a day getting them in a home. If you want to get in touch with Doug and his crew, it's easy. Call them 225-214-5154. 225-214-5154. Go see the Bickley team today. They're located on the corner of Coursey Boulevard and Sherwood Forest right here in Baton Rouge.
What's up?
What's happening?
Chilling with a couple of cool guys. You?
Chilling and watching some tube. Hold on.
Did you do it?
Hold on. Did you do it?
Roof's up.
Hold on.
Roof's up.
Roof's up!
Roof's up.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on.
Beautiful roof every single time.
True. True.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Head health is incredibly important for our student athletes. One of the best ways we're trying to address concussions is on the front end. We're trying to prevent these before they happen. And a big part of that is speaking to the athletes, letting them know what to expect. Okay, speaking to the parents, what to look out for, talking to the coaches so they know the vital importance. Some of the big things we're looking for with a concussion, which is, a traumatic brain injury, is one, was there a mechanism? Was there an injury that took place that could lead to this? Often a direct blow to the head, a head-to-head hit. If someone's showing signs of concussion, our first step is always to remove them from activity, get them to a place where there's less stimuli, where we can really just sit down and get a feel for the athlete, what they're feeling. We're looking for headache, we're looking for dizziness, any sign that coordination is off, that something's just not right. Get a good evaluation of them to understand what's going on. It's not worth the risk that may be there to kind of ignore it, because there are very serious consequences if we don't treat a concussion properly.
Don't let concerns about shifts in the market disrupt your long-term financial goals. Edward Jones financial advisor Daniel Newman can help. He'll work with you on an investment strategy for long-term results. Edward Jones can give you the tools and knowledge for a steady approach to hitting your financial targets. Get started today by calling Daniel Newman at 225-261-8262. 225-261-8262. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Click Here Digital, the home of the Jordy Culotta Show. Online at klickheredigital.com. If you're looking to set Google ads, set social media campaigns, learn about SEO, display video, or even creative, Click Here Digital has the answer for you. Online at klickheredigital.com or email me directly, Jordy at klickheredigital.com.
Okay, Gordon, ready to talk a little bit about yourself today? Okay, good. Tell us, who is Gordon McCurdy?
Great question. In a lot of ways, I'm just like most people. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a son. I am a brother. I'm a Christian. I am a Tigers fan. I am a Louisiana sportsman. But above all, I am grateful to the people of Louisiana. We want to be your lawyers for life. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and in every Louisiana house, all the creatures were stirring.
Santa's coming.
Even the mouse. The stockings were hung, the cookies were out. Santa was on his way to Louisiana, there was no doubt. So let's celebrate the season and start the new year off right. Merry Christmas to all, and to all, a good night.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
It was Christmas Eve, Santa Claus was riding in his sleigh. He was packed with toys for the girls and boys, merrily on his way. When a Grinch riding on a reindeer pulled right. Santa Claus got Gordon, got it done.
Merry Christmas from Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys.
Missing us! Missing us! Let's be special! Let's be strong! Let's spell greatness! From the top! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Offensive player of the game from LSU, Joe Burrow.
Football is life. Football is Joe Burrow.
Grind bullshit, can't fit on my schedule. I'ma do what's best with me, you can keep all your lectures. Spend the summer stacking bread, might be gone till November. Pulling up like Trey Young just to freeze up December. I got niggas on the block like traditional sinners. OGs love me so I hang with traditional winners. I took a break for a minute, I had to go charge up. Had to focus on my business, I'm coming back smarter. Hit up DJ, tell him go like I'm dropping the Carter. Coming back like KD, it's time to go harder. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing, can't let you slow up. They say that life's a marathon, man, shout out to Nip. They start to think you falling off and they starting to flip. Circumstances start to change and they jumping the ship. Only ones that really matter who's tied to your hip. They tried to push you to the side cause they thought you would quit. May bend but never break, your cloth is legit. When you return in rare form, they all gonna be sick. You ever seen a living legend, just know that I'm it. Slow grind like IT, just know that I'm it. Now I'm back up in my bag, I'm giving them fits. Bouncing back like John Morant, you know that I'm lit. Making plays like Jack Bash, I'm never gonna sit. Had to be patient, so I waited for the situation. Now that I'm focused, I'ma take it with no hesitation. The hard times that I hated gave me inspiration. Look in the eyes from my kids gave me motivation. Bounce back, can't let you fold up. Keep pushing.
All right, welcome back here. Jordy Culotta Show live here on this Monday morning. Good stuff. Good basketball conversation from Kim Mulkey and John Brady over the last 45 minutes. If you missed it, it'll be a part of today's podcast that you can always check out. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel if you have not already done so. We appreciate all of the subscriptions that we've been getting over the last couple of weeks and months here. It's been a nice push here as we are going towards 20,000 here. And don't forget about our partnership over at NewOrleans.football coming up at the first of the year. You can catch us on NewOrleans.football's YouTube channel, so make sure you have gotten over to NewOrleans.football with Nick Underhill and crew and following them on YouTube. They've got great obviously New Orleans Saints programming. Saints win yesterday, knocked DeVito out of the game. The agent's down here picking up his Italian jacket. They look like they used
the Italian Hall of Fame.
New Orleans, yes.
Y'all are
yes,
you're
we're right next to each other.
Yes.
I didn't get a jacket though.
I mean, my man was rocking the
they give you
full
a
green
jacket.
Right. Welcome to the party, pal.
Yeah. You've always been in that club.
How about the Saints sack celebration? They were giving it to DeVito yesterday. They would let him know.
You gotta give it to him.
It's the NFL. The NFL don't like new. They don't like new attention.
No, they like it for
nobody likes new attention in the NFL. Everybody kind of sets their eyes on the new blood,
and they take it personal.
Tommy DeVito. Everybody's talking about him, showing his agent off. They got something for you.
Josh Dobbs is no longer a thing. This is what the NFL does. It turns out a star.
They do.
And then you get exposed, and then we start over all. And the only one that's making it through the whole news cycle is Flacco.
Levis a little bit.
Levis is having a bit of a
I
moment.
thought Levis is he's kind of, when
They
he
lost yesterday.
I know they did, but on his first start when he was throwing like pop-up bombs to Nuke Hopkins for touchdowns, I was like, this ain't going to last.
This is never going to make it.
This ain't going to last.
Next game,
Will.
10
Levis
for
is going to be
34.
he's going to be on the IR here pretty quickly.
I hope you enjoyed that, Will.
I did see him in the tent yesterday.
Yeah, I mean,
he plays like a lunatic.
He plays like he plays like he's Josh Allen
He
size.
plays like he wants to play both ways.
Yeah.
Like he wants to play quarterback and safety. He's like in high school. He threw a pick last week, first play of the game against a defensive tackle, and tried to like square him up
Yeah, he
like
did.
in the end zone. It's like
this
Will,
man's
it's
about to
over.
run you over.
It's
dog.
over. Like
Do you
you're about to
like
get
playing in this league?
Do you like football, Will? Like
I mean, this is the league that knocked out Cam Newton.
Yeah.
quickly.
I mean, like I thought Cam Newton was a
thought he was
football
untouchable.
gladiator. Like I thought he'd play until he was 80. He's 33, talking about Dak being a game manager on podcasts.
Here we go.
Was he right?
I mean,
Was he right?
He was right. He was right. The Cowboys.
I think he's
were
right about.
exposed.
I think he's right about probably all of them.
Well, I mean, I think the only one that caused any controversy was Dak.
Yeah.
Because everybody else, I think everybody was like, yeah.
But I mean, like, I feel like Cam has had a better career than Dak has. Super Bowl, won an MVP. Like
Cam was what? Was he the first unanimous MVP?
I mean,
I believe so. You might want to check that. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Like,
But
I mean,
he,
Cam-
he was a runaway.
Cam at his peak was.
He was
It was
incredible.
prime football. Like
He
everybody
was the best
doing
college football player I'd ever seen until Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He
I mean,
probably still is the most physically
Reggie Bush.
gifted.
Yeah, but I mean, look at that Auburn team. Look at
They ain't got a single player.
right. It's just
Yeah.
Cam. Like
Nick Fairley and Cam.
that's why it's like when people tried to get on Cam, I'm like, did y'all watch Cam Newton's career? Do y'all remember what
He was
type
a
of
freak,
player
man.
Cam
He was a
Newton
freak.
was? They had to literally knock him out the league.
The touchdown run alone against LSU. He runs away from
Oh.
Tyrann Mathieu and Patrick Peterson
Drags
in one
Pat
play.
Pete
Yo,
into the end zone.
the narrative
It's
has
LSU
gotten out of
football
control.
blasphemy.
Yes.
It is. I can't even think about that highlight because it's all
It
people
is.
bring up. It's like
He just-
because that highlight's everywhere.
He's just leaving his lane.
This is Heisman moment.
Yeah, for sure.
People don't give
I mean,
Pat.
or them
people
coming back against Alabama.
People don't give Pat enough credit for tracking him down from across the field.
Coach.
No
He's
doubt.
out
No,
of-
no,
he's
I'm
out
with
of
you.
gas.
I'm with you. But you know, I
He
mean,
did
that
get
was
dragged,
that was
but-
LSU's alpha.
That was that
I
was
mean,
the game.
That
They
was
were like, oh
oh wow.
He made God bleed.
yes, listen, Xerxes.
Superman just bled.
48 out of 50 votes for the unanimous MVP. Do you want to know who got the other 2 votes?
Drew Brees.
Was
Two
this
players.
2011?
Both quarterbacks. Yes.
Aaron Rodgers.
2011 would be. I would say Aaron Rodgers would be one.
No, it's 2016, right?
2016.
This is when it was written. No, it was Tom Brady and Carson Palmer. Each received 1 vote.
Palmer. Carson Palmer was still hanging around.
That's
I just
what
watched A Football Life when Carson Palmer.
He's
watch.
hilarious.
He's great. He's
Big
great.
Carson Palmer.
Yeah.
People hate his brother, though.
They did. I mean, they kind of hated him.
Yeah, Carson was. I forget. He was on a Hard Knocks. I don't. Or
Cincinnati.
Yes.
Yeah.
With Ochocinco.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But like that's what I kind of like started to like him because he was great on the microphone, like being mic'd up and not knowing he was mic'd up, and like just the way he interacted with everybody. It's like, oh, I can see why people follow him.
Yeah.
Like he's a great quarterback.
I mean, he's like a football prodigy.
Yeah.
Like, coming up, like they looked at him and they were like, "Oh my god,
that's the one.
like this guy is going to be."
We've got to have Carson Palmer.
yeah.
Wait, what? Heisman winner, #1 overall pick,
Yep.
went to USC, like
Yeah,
the
like
whole
5-star.
on the
You know what I mean?
on
Like-
the cover of NCAA.
Yeah.
Brought back the high school state championship game. Like has all of it. He's got the football story except the Super Bowl.
And why
There
would
you go
do
right
this?
I mean, Coach,
mean-
that's a Wildcat play.
Look at that.
That
Look,
was
full
Tyrann.
stop. Look at I got you.
No, you don't.
Fumble.
Gosh.
Maybe.
Pat was like, I'm dead.
Kelvin
Dude,
Shepard.
he comes to getting bodied. He comes to a full stop right here. I mean,
Brandon Taylor.
playing
bro.
a different game.
I mean, that is a bunch of dogs. I mean,
yeah, one's loose with the ham.
We all chasing.
That he was so. Dude,
That's what I'm saying.
That
like,
year,
people
it was
disrespecting
inevitable.
Cam.
yeah.
Like you talked about the Alabama game. They were down 14.
I think they were down more than that.
It was
Yeah.
like 21 or 23, something like that. It was bad.
It was a big comeback.
And I remember, like seeing them down like you said, 21 maybe. Like Auburn's going to win because they have Cam Newton. Like it was one of those feelings, like what Joe Burrow probably felt like to other teams when you look around, you're like, Were you ever nervous during the Clemson game?
It was
never.
I was like, they're not giving him field position. If
I was-
Joe
yeah,
gets,
give him a second.
I'm telling you, I was not nervous again after Bama.
yeah,
I
put
was
him.
like, this team's
Auburn.
this
Put him
team's
on the
not losing.
25, and he'll be all right.
Right,
They just kept starting him on the 10, on the 5.
It was a great game plan.
Yeah, Dabo played it right. Tyler.
Dabo.
It was only a matter of time though. You can't single Jamar Chase up.
No.
Once they figured that out,
Somebody-
it was they were playing backyard football.
A couple of weeks ago, somebody was like, "Is Marvin Harrison Jr. a better pro prospect than Jamar Chase?" And people were like, "Bro, Jamar Chase had people thinking AJ Terrell was a bum."
Yeah,
like
can't draft him.
Can't draft AJ Terrell because he just
he's a
got
player.
And
he is a stud.
He's a player.
He's a shutdown corner in the league.
Diggs led the league in picks his rookie year.
Right.
And
Exactly.
Everybody's like, I don't know about
that
this
Jamar
guy.
Chase
Jamar
tape is
just
ugly.
put him to sleep.
All right, so LSU's active right now, and we saw some portal things pop up last week. We mentioned Caden Durham in the state title game where he just went absolutely ballistic. We're going to have Shay and Billy on this week. We got to get them to define what a 5-star is.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you get a 5-star?
Shay.
How do you get a 5th star? I mean, like if Caden Durham doesn't have 5 stars, I don't know if I believe in the system anymore.
Where do I gotta go?
I mean, like,
Do they only have like I feel like we've had this conversation with them before. We don't. It's kind of like the NCAA. We don't get a firm answer as to what makes a 5-star. But is there like a finite amount that can be given? Like there's only
they
so
can
many.
only rate.
I'd
certain amount
imagine
of
so,
kids,
but
cycle.
You got to be able to be like. I mean, come on. There's 3 better running backs in the country than this guy.
It's like the Hunger Games.
I mean, like
I don't even think there is a 5-star running back in this class.
Well, yeah, there is. Caden Durham is.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying,
I mean,
like,
what he did to the
currently.
6A state championship game in Texas is takes a 5-star running back to do.
There
I mean,
are no 5-star running backs.
That's crazy. So LSU picked up a couple of transfers. Jordan Gilbert, safety out of University High, is pledged to LSU over the weekend, along with Xavion Thomas. Thomas is a wide receiver, Mississippi State, who hit the portal 2 weeks ago and pledged to LSU as well. He's got 2 years remaining. He's another New Orleans native. He's out of Marrero, went to John Ehret, and so he's coming home to LSU as well. Some other local flavor to watch as LSU has been very active here over the last couple of days are some names like DeCamerion Richardson, who is a Mississippi State cornerback who is out of North Louisiana. He's out of Bossier City, and he was visiting Ole Miss over the weekend, and he's going to visit LSU. It seems like it's between LSU and Ole Miss as far as who is going to get the pledge there, but Richardson, being a Louisiana native, obviously has LSU in the mix and heavy on the interest level. I've talked to people from North Louisiana that says that Richardson is one of the best athletes to come out of that part of the state and would be a really well added and a much needed addition to the defensive back room if they were able to get him.
When LSU played Mississippi State, he was probably the one cornerback that had good coverage on Malik Neighbors the whole day. So
Wow. That Mississippi State team was dead in the water.
Right.
What a I mean, LSU needed it in the worst way to be able to play them when they did, because they kind of found that was the last time that Mississippi State played like that.
Mm-hmm.
Where they're
they got blown out by Bama.
No, but at least they started throwing it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But that game was so, like, when you go back and look at it, like, what a weird blip on the schedule for get-right game for Jane Daniels that just happened perfectly for LSU, where he was, like, 30 of 34 for, 4 touchdowns? And it was just like, okay, LSU can finally find its footing again. And you talk about, if you want to go back one more year, wasn't it Xavion Thomas, the punt returner, kick returner?
Mm-hmm.
That
Emory Jones
tackled.
On the 50.
Yeah.
That was out there on an island.
Yep.
Damn, that was who that was.
Yep. He's just wearing a different number.
Yeah.
He's about, dude, that...
Still one of the great plays.
Most athletic plays you ever
still
seen.
one of the great, most underappreciated great plays you've ever seen. There is another Mississippi State DB to keep your eyes on. DeCarlos Nicholson is a Mississippi State player. Spent some time at JUCO. LSU was heavy in the mix on him. He put his name into the portal. Another really nice athlete. Does not have the Louisiana ties. He's as we said, I believe he's a South Mississippi native. But he is a guy who has appeared in 25 games, made 7 starts last year. He's another one to watch. Obviously, Jair Brown out of Ohio State is somebody that LSU is keeping contact with and keeping in touch with here, and is another name that I think could be added to the defensive back room here as a possibility as somebody in the portal. Another name is Austin Osbury. Osbury is, of course, a Baton Rouge native from University High, went to Auburn out of high school. His dad is an LSU administrator in Verge Osbury. His brother Jaden Osbury was he a 5-star?
He was.
Yes.
I think he was a 5-star.
Jaden was a 5-star for sure.
He's at Notre Dame now, but his so Jaden's older brother Austin Osbury has put his name into the portal. And from a safety standpoint, I think this is a guy that you've got to keep your eyes on.
That's an instant take, right?
I would think so.
Birds, let's get this deal done.
I would think so.
Isn't Frank like his godfather?
Yes.
All right, man, Uncle Frank.
KC's asking about Walter Nolan. I think Nolan signed, sealed, delivered to Ole Miss.
And they were saying that Richardson went to Ole Miss yesterday and on through RPM'd him to Ole Miss. So they're making their...
Wait, the Cameron Richardson? The cornerback?
Yeah.
Oh.
That we were just talking
Whoa.
about.
Shay put up a article, I think it was Friday. He was supposed to go to A&M and Oregon, but he canceled those trips to come to LSU.
Ole Miss is backing the truck up.
Yeah.
Like, they're making a run. Like, they're saying, like, they're getting these guys back on offense with Dart and Harris. The tight end's coming back. Junkins is coming back. So they're saying, look, get the best defensive players out there. And they've made, I saw where Walter Nolan's NIL evaluation from an on-3 perspective was around $480,000.
You double it.
So you would think at minimum he was getting that. And what I've been told from people we know around Ole Miss, and we've got some really good sources at Ole Miss. I mean, like, I've got no problem telling you. I mean, we talked to Matt Bowers here on the show a couple of weeks ago, and Bowers is as passionate of a Ole Miss fan that you'll find, and he's also a very successful businessman. So I mean, put the puzzle pieces together. He's gotten the call from Kiffin and the crew. They want to go all in. They want to win. They think that with this offense that they have coming back, that if they can get Pete Golding a defense that he can put out there and get stops, that they can make a run at this thing. And from an NIL perspective, it's very evident that is what Ole Miss's game is here in this cycle. They're going to get Walter Nolan, it feels like. They've gotten Florida's best defensive end out of the transfer portal.
Got Tennessee's best defensive end.
Got Tennessee's best defensive player in the portal. So they are going after. They're going after it. And LSU, from a NIL perspective, is not as probably buttoned up as they would even like to be here locally yet. But when you look around and see programs like Ole Miss making runs at these things and obviously playing players, you see how the game is very much changed here very early on in the days of NIL. So it's a big recruiting week. December 20th, Wednesday, early signing period. That'll be the first of this. But a couple of DB names and a couple of guys to watch out for. And as far as LSU losing players, we mentioned Quincy Wiggins pledged to Colorado earlier this weekend as he was up in Boulder and made his pledge to Dion and the University of Colorado. So he'll be up there and talking to some people around. I mean, he'll be he'll be an instant starter up there just out of necessity, really.
They need them bodies.
Yeah, they need guys, and not only guys that look like Q, but guys that hopefully they can get developed. Did I see where the defensive line coach for Colorado is joining Elijah Robinson's defensive staff at Syracuse? So they will have a new D-line coach up there. I know there's been a big push for Warren Sapp.
Warren Sapp is the D-line coach. Like, he's going to be the D-line coach.
He's been qualified. I know he had to go through a bunch of tests.
Yeah, he's been like an analyst this
whole
season.
Yeah, right.
So I would think they just elevate him to on-field.
What a great
role.
opportunity.
Yeah.
What a great opportunity.
He's got halitosis.
Wait, what?
He's got bad breath, and he gets so upset when people talk about it.
Really?
Yeah. There's a whole interview about it whenever it's Ward Sapp has bad breath, and he came. I think it was on Le Batard, where he came and was like, I heard y'all talking about I got bad breath. I got bad breath. They're like, Warren's upset.
He
like,
dips
I'm
a
terrified.
Right.
Because
he dips a lot. So
Yeah,
he
he's
does
probably
have
shit.
bad breath.
I smokes a lot of weed too.
Yeah.
I mean, like
It'll-
he's been popped a couple.
Yeah,
times,
it'll do it to
know
you.
what I mean? Got that wolf breath.
Oof.
Another
I was trying
offensive
to
lineman
see if
that
he
LSU is making a push at here. Brad Davis is
mean,
just.
Can he coach the D line? Can
I
he
mean,
recruit
or at
some
least
D-line?
recruit it.
Yeah.
Because the offensive line is making a push here after
Same,
a
but the
4-star
opposite.
Cohen Eccles, who is a Texas A&M commit, or has been.
Was a Texas A&M commit.
Was
I
a
think
Texas
he's
A&M
decommitted.
commit. He committed to A&M in June over Auburn,
Texas
Tech, and LSU. He decommitted earlier this month. He was on campus in Baton Rouge with Brad Davis and the crew here recently. So possibly more talent that could be added to this offensive line room. And then was it Chase Bacentis who played at A&M?
Yeah, started at A&M this year.
Who is thinking about possibly LSU as well. So more possibilities of guys in that offensive line room that could be jumping aboard. But a name to watch is Cohen Eccles here of the latest as Brad Davis continues to do work in that offensive line room.
Interested to see what LSU does on the offensive line next year. Just because, like,
They got to get
because you got
Big Daddy.
you
in
got
there.
Lance Hurd waiting in the wing. Emory Jones will probably slide in.
Weston Banks is a 5-star.
Yeah,
tackle.
Weston Davis.
Weston
but,
Davis.
But I mean, you got to. I would think Lance Hurd had the highest
Ceiling.
pass grade of freshman offensive lineman this season, so I would think that he would probably slide
He's
into
playing
that
next year.
right tackle position, and then
That's crazy.
you slide Emory in.
Uh-huh.
It's
Is
cra-
Miles Frazier done? Like, was this his last year?
Yeah.
Okay, so Miles Frazier's out, and
Is
then
that right?
Garrett Dellinger is a junior, so I don't know
Can't
where.
be is he? He's been playing for so long.
Coach,
dude.
he's been playing
He was the savior.
right in
That's all-
2021.
You
He
know
played
how bad
solid this year.
Right,
Yeah, oh
so
no,
he-
he's good. But
so
like, you know
he's
how
been here
bad
3
football
years.
was for LSU when they're like
Garrett-
Dellinger.
Get in there.
What did he tear his pec and
Redshirt junior Miles Frazier. He could come back.
he could come back?
I mean,
You kicking him out?
I'm not kicking him out, but I'm just saying, like, looking at the room, I would think sliding Emory Jones inside and putting Lance Hurd on the outside, you're going to have to find a new center. Charles Turner's done. So,
Miles Frazier slide to center.
I mean, they had Chester come in
Yeah.
center this year, so, I mean,
It's a war of.
this is going to
so
be a
many good
war of
players.
bodies.
You are going to have some serious, fierce competition to get to the best five.
Because
Yep.
it's crazy to think that you're like Emory Jones can slide to guard when he's been back-to-back years as standout right tackle where you haven't had to worry about him, and you're like,
I mean, Lance Hurd's still up there,
yeah,
coach.
like maybe somebody's better.
I think he is a guard in the NFL.
Yeah,
though.
he
Oh
is.
yeah,
He's
but
for
I'm
sure
just
a
saying he
guard.
just hasn't even been
Yeah.
an issue, and
know.
people are still trying to kick him out of tackle. Like, well, he's a guard.
Because
Just
sometimes
tells
you
how
kind
high,
of,
how high they have
And
recruited.
yeah.
With that said, when Lance sort of gets on the field, you notice it. You're just like,
Yeah,
Jesus
I mean, who's
Christ.
53?
Yeah.
I mean, offensive, perfect.
Yeah. All right.
Tackle.
All right.
Tackle.
Come on.
He just looks he looks it.
He does.
I mean, he looks
He
like
looks every
he's
sense of
he
it.
looks like he's 30.
He does.
I mean, I'm talking about polar opposites of him and Will Campbell. Like he looks like an old man. Will Campbell looks like a kid.
Can't get in the club.
Like a baby.
Like, hey, show me your ID again.
Oh hell.
Oh shit.
I got my LA wallet. Let me pull it up. Shit.
Their offensive line is going to be it's going
Nasty.
to be scary deep next year because this class, this latest cycle that they have on campus this year, DJ Chester, Paul Mubanga, Lance Hurd, who am I missing? There's a fourth in there as well. But I mean that offensive line class, even guys like Bo Bordelon that are coming along behind the scenes. I mean, they've got some high quality depth in that room that they have just not experienced that. No. They have not been a part, they have not had that type of selections before. And I'd imagine that it would probably be a room that sees some attrition.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, it would probably be a room that, I mean, every year they have the built-in attrition to the team that, we you don't like to talk about or you may not recognize, but I mean, offensive line looks like a room where you might lose quality guys just because
there's too many quality guys.
There's so many of them.
But I mean, That if it's one room that you can afford to lose,
That's what I'm saying.
Offensive line.
That's what I'm saying.
Bless you.
Thank you.
And if it's one room you can't afford to lose, it's DB.
DB.
Cornerback. For sure.
Sage.
I would say right now, currently, like,
Were you surprised?
well,
by
with
that?
this recruiting class, the linebacker depth is going up, safety depth is going up, cornerback depth is you don't really know, and then you got offensive line depth, running back depth, quarterback depth, receiver is kind of in the middle too. So cornerback and receiver are the two positions on the field, and defensive line, the three positions on the field that you don't know for sure where the depth is.
It was the exact opposite under every other previous regime.
Yeah, it is crazy how the roster is kind of
Just so
flipped.
Yeah, it's
flat.
flipped, for sure.
I don't even know what, like, if you would have told 12-year-old me that there was 2 Heisman winners and they both played quarterback at LSU in 5
I would have been like,
years,
you're
I'd be
lying
like,
to me.
Bro, I ain't buying what you.
Why are you selling me this false dream?
I tell you what I am looking forward to next season is the 1-2 punch of Caleb Williams and Caden Durham.
Ugh.
Caleb Jackson.
Caleb Jackson.
I mean,
Caleb Williams can do whatever he wants.
imagine tackling
Don't want
trying to tackle them two for 4 quarters.
I mean,
Caden Durham's gonna. You think he gets run, huh?
yes.
For sure.
Absolutely.
I mean,
I do too.
Yeah, I do.
Caleb Jackson's going to be putting people in body bags. and then
he's
then here, Caden Durham.
10-2.
Yeah,
You insulted
chase
that
him.
man.
You can't teach that. speed.
10-6. Whoa.
That's,
Wait, no,
hold on,
10-6.
hold on.
that's fast in the SEC.
Right.
Like,
He was like, I ran 10-2 with a win, coach.
I don't know. 10-6. I don't know where you got that number.
Yeah, right.
Not even
That was my fault.
No, he was insulted.
it should have been.
Yeah.
Should've
Hold
been.
on.
Should have been.
18-year-old kid.
When you that fast, coach?
Yeah, it's 10-2.
Look, this speed's verified,
I'm
dog.
6 feet.
I mean, he was pulling away from those cats.
4-star though.
Yesterday.
Yeah, not a 5-star.
But I mean, that's where you talk about people hitting the portal from LSU. I mean, Trey Holly. It's good as he looked in limited action. You probably look around the room and go, I know Caleb's going to run. They love Caden.
Yeah.
Harlan
And
Berry's coming.
Harlan
James
Berry's
Simon might be coming
Right.
too.
James Simon.
I mean,
Goodness gracious.
looking at both of them, I'd
John
be like,
Emery has
shit.
another year.
Yeah, John.
No way.
Yeah, John does have another year. I
No
think.
way.
He could probably get a medical red shirt.
You know, I think he played in 4 games. I think that's like he played too many snaps.
Oh, damn. Sorry, John.
Would
But
that
he
be
might have a
that would
COVID
be
year.
7.
7?
Well, no. He's been here since 2019, so this would have been his graduating class, I think, 2023.
He's a senior.
Mm-hmm.
5th-year senior.
So yeah,
Josh Williams will be back.
Yeah, Josh Williams
Which is
coming
also
back.
mind-blowing.
That is wild. That one is wild to me.
5th-year senior.
I mean, he played on the 19 team.
Yeah.
Like he covered kicks.
Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah, so John Emery played on the 19 team until
Yeah,
he got
that-
told to skedaddle.
John.
It's a screen to you, dogs.
But I mean, that's not real. He's not coming back next year, is he?
No, I don't think so. He's a
Josh Williams is though, for sure. He told Jock he is.
Yeah, no, I mean, I
That's
kind of
great.
get that too.
and that's what I mean. Shea has been alluding to it. Look at this.
Not
man.
a 5-star. This
So
is not a
easy, dude.
5-star.
Like, he's just striding.
Look at number 10. Like, I'm gonna catch him.
He's pulling away from him.
To what?
Ran out the frame.
Catch him in the tunnel. Catch me after the game. He played so well. Like, that's what you want to see from, like, I know it's not a 5-star, but your recruiting class, like, what I saw from him shows me that he would be ready to get touches. Like, Caleb Jackson, it was just such a unforeseen circumstance where he gets hurt, and you kind of didn't know what you had because he didn't get to play his senior year. Like, Caden Durham is showing out his senior year. Like, I'm ready to play now.
And then DK Morris just.
Is Logan Diggs coming back?
That's a good question. He can, but is he?
I think
'Cause
I think Josh coming back means that Logan.
Yeah, because Logan
right?
Diggs had a real cryptic tweet about
Yeah, I know.
some things that he didn't like that went on at LSU. So I mean, I would think he might just bounce and try his luck in the league. I mean, he's a good running back. He'll probably get a chance.
From a running back standpoint, if you've proven enough to get to the league, I would just get there.
Yeah.
I would just start the clock, man.
Just because of the way they treat running backs in the NFL.
Exactly.
I'd be like, I'm out.
It is a death sentence in the NFL to be a running back.
Short life for a running back. I mean, look at Keaton
His
Mitchell.
Twitter
He's a
is
rookie.
all over the place.
They'll probably go find another rookie and just replace him.
That's all it is. I mean, it's just next man up. I mean, the whole league is built after this model. I can't imagine they pay a running back again. I mean, who's the last one to get paid?
Was it Saquon? Saquon didn't
No, I'm
get
talking about
paid.
big, like Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah, Ezekiel Elliott was the one.
Jonathan Taylor.
Jonathan Taylor?
Yeah.
Got the bag.
Yeah.
Oh, let's see. Who's the highest paid running back in the league?
Cam Newton.
I didn't actually.
I mean, I'm trying to think like who would be the highest. I mean, I guess
McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I don't know if he got
Christian
paid,
McCaffrey.
Yeah, did he?
He is getting paid $16 million a year.
And those are the
Not
types
enough.
that you would have to find.
Yeah, I mean,
They're not paying.
Alvin Kamara second.
Same thing.
Derrick
he's
Henry.
versatile.
Well, Jonathan Taylor, Derrick Henry, Nick Chubb.
Like, I don't think you paid Derrick Henry.
Josh Jacobs.
No, he's done.
Well, I mean, he's like kind of their team.
But I'm just talking about his model.
Yeah, his
like
game
that type
doesn't-
of back. I mean, not that Derrick Henry exists, but just that
like Jahmyr Gibbs will get
25.
The bag.
Yeah, but he's the
For sure.
Kamara McCaffrey
That's what I'm
type.
saying. Like that's who gets paid now if he can do both.
I mean, Dalvin Cook's making $7 a year.
Shit, catch Clyde made yesterday.
Yeah,
Cladro.
Clyde.
I mean, he's
Stud.
got to hit the open market again.
Yeah, this
Yep.
is his last year.
Right.
Concealed carry
Damn.
for 22.
I hate you, bro. Eat this dude.
You get that 5th-year option, or else.
But that somebody posted the class of 2014 running back class, which is like Leonard Fournette,
Kamara, McCaffrey,
Nick Chubb,
Dalvin
Cook. That might be the greatest running back recruiting class ever. They're all still playing in the league.
Well, Leonard.
Well, Leonard's
He's
on
on
the
Buffalo?
team. Yeah, so I mean,
Yeah, he's not, I don't think he's playing though.
Yeah, but I mean, they're getting they're
He's getting paid.
they're
holding-
writing a check.
Yeah, but they're holding for something. They're going to put
The
him out
playoff.
there,
Yeah.
and they're going to run him out there, and he's going to be healthy in the leagues and be like, oh wait,
Oh,
they got
shit.
Leonard.
I
Yeah.
mean, right? Like, I mean,
Imagine
look at what
stashing-
James Cook did yesterday. You run Leonard Fournette and James Cook out
in
there
the
and
snow.
coach. I would not want to tackle either one of them.
None.
And
I
Leonard
mean,
looked good when they posted
did.
him.
Okay, Leonard Fournette was the number one running back.
Hell
you got
yeah.
Dalvin Cook, Sonny Michel, Joe Mixon, Nick Chubb, and Christian McCaffrey.
Wow, Joe Mixon was in that class.
Yes, Joe Mixon was the number 4 running back in that class.
Sonny Michel and Nick Chubb went to the same school.
Yeah.
They both went to Georgia.
And they were
Yeah.
the number 3 and number 5 running backs,
Good
respectfully.
Lord.
in the
Where's
class.
Michelle at? Is he in
I think
Philly?
he's done.
Yeah, he might have retired just because of like injuries. He like tore his Achilles, tore his ACL. He's had, or he might be with At one point, he was with the Patriots. Let's see where Sonny Michel is.
Yeah, he was with. And DeAndre Swift got traded. He's in
To
Philly.
the Eagles.
He's in Philly. Okay, I was thinking him.
Oh, he plays for the Rams now.
Sonny Michel?
Mm-hmm.
He announced his retirement July 29th, 2023.
Who?
Sonny Michel.
Oh. Well, he was
Rest
on
in
the
power.
Rams. Yep. Reserve, retired.
That's
That's what it
crazy.
says on ESPN.
Wow.
And he was like can't miss.
Yeah,
That's
he
the
was.
that's the position, man.
It
it's
is.
so
It
crazy.
eats you up,
And
man.
Nick Chubb might be the best back in the league, and he's been
Hurt
the
every year
ringer.
almost.
And then you saw what
He got
happened.
paid.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah,
got paid
just
before
earned-
he got
just
hurt.
deserves it.
He did.
And then you see what happens in Baltimore when you see that running back. You're just like,
I
man,
mean, look at the biggest example is Ty Gurley.
oh
Kid
yeah,
he was probably the best running back in the league for 2 years.
You blinked your eye and he was out.
degenerative knee arthritis. And it's like what?
I mean, I blew my knee out twice in college.
And the Rams are like, no, you still got a little in you.
Yeah.
Like,
Run this
Right.
dive
Right.
again.
Right. No, we're paying him too much.
yeah, MVP.
Keep paying him. Yeah, I mean, like, keep
give
feeding
him the ball.
Yeah, he's got to feed him.
Todd, can you return kicks?
Yeah, he did at Georgia. Ran that one back. Was that was that against Alabama or was it the cocktail party?
I think it was against Alabama. He did it in both games, I think. First play of the game.
He got hurt in that 2013 game on his first carry. Craig Lawson came up and popped him on the sideline, and he never came back in the game.
Dog. Nick
He
Chubb.
never came
Pop
back
shot.
in the game. He never came back in the game.
Chubb, get you some run, dog.
Papa Craig.
All right, have a great day. Like, share, comment, subscribe. We'll be back with you tomorrow, 7 a.m. Appreciate you starting your week here with us. Have a happy holiday and Merry Christmas from everybody over here at the Jordy Culotta Show. We'll be back
Merry
with you tomorrow,
Christmas.
Mac, 7 a.m. from Click Here Digital.
Happy Hanukkah.
Merry Chrysler.
Chanukah.
Chanukah.
I don't know what that is, but they told me to say it.
Smokey.
Hey, Chino. Put my headphones up. You right there. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification. We about to go live. We got all your favorite guests. We got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta Show. Come have a good time. It's the hottest show around. We ain't got to flex. Call up G, we get it done. We earning our respect. Tell recruits to let us in. Where they going next? Throw up the L's. Now we lit. Band playing neck. From the boot to the east to the west coast. No matter where we at, we live, mic'd up for show. Open up the phone lines, come and join the show. Make sure you tell your friends about Jordy Culotta show. Yeah, Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta show, come have a good time. Monday through Friday from 7 to 9. Yeah, you see the notification, we about to go live. We got all your favorite guests, we got them in line. It's the Jordy Culotta show. Come